we've had national crises like 9/11 and way back when, World War II,
Yep.
Depression and all. But right now, the whole world is in a crisis. And in terms of silver linings, like, God bless us, but could our nation, like, could we realize, like, from the lowest to the highest, we're a family,
Yeah.
and we're in a world family too. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if somebody's in Afghanistan or Mongolia or France or Moscow. Like, we're all dealing with this shit, and we've got to think globally, because
Yep.
this virus doesn't care where you live. You're
Doesn't
a human.
care what
Yeah.
what government you're with or
Yeah.
anything. Like, yeah, it's everywhere.
And our DNA is very similar. Like, we're less different from each other than almost any other species.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost like mini clones, even though we don't always look like it.
Yeah. No, that's very true, and I'm hoping that this will. I do understand that, like, when this is said and done, the world that we know, it's going to be completely different. For the better or worse, like, hopefully for the better.
For the better.
Yep, hopefully for the better. But there's a lot of stuff that, like, I think we're going to see some major shifts in world powers and stuff, and people are going to start looking at governments and be like, wow, you could have handled that so much better. Or looking at other governments and being like, dude, you stepped up and we never thought, like, we'd see much out of you. I was actually surprised. Like, I was very impressed with, like, how Russia was sending in aid to other countries. Like, now they're getting hit. It's like, oh, they stepped up. They actually are looking out for the other countries in Europe and stuff as well. Like, they could have easily been like, shut off everything and, like, stay away from us so we don't get anything. But they didn't. And, like, I think that's, like, there's other countries doing the same. Is that they're trying to help each other out. We have not seen, this is not the downside or the down slope of everything, like, which is scary to me, because we might be leveling off in the U.S. a little bit,
Well,
but, like, you know what?
especially on the West Coast.
Yep. But there's other countries that haven't been hit yet as hard, and they are in a way worse position than we are. India scares the crap out of me. India is so compact with not as high level health, medical help and stuff like that. They're just, I feel like the way it hit Italy, because of the living conditions of Italy, a lot of families live together, large groups of people. The older people live with massive groups of people in the house, because that's how families live there. India is the same way, but there's a lot more people in India.
Right.
And I'm so scared that India is going to get devastated by it. And
It's
like,
very scary.
it is really scary. So we haven't even seen the worst, I think. I think we've seen like really hard punches, but like this is just kind of the beginning of the fight as a world goes.
Right.
And we need to stay on top of helping each other out, working together to curb this. Otherwise it can be way worse than we have experienced yet.
And I think we're going to, like India, and then, but like Brazil, and there's certain third world and second world countries that social distancing for a huge percentage of their population is not, it's easy or it's not easy or it's impossible.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why it hit Italy so hard. Is because it is like the way families live there. It is impossible. Like, you have all these people under one roof.
Yeah.
Where are you going to social distance that?
Yeah, your grandma and maybe your grandpa lives in there, and they're big huggers.
Yeah.
And so that just becomes a mess.
It does.
Is there something you value now more than before this crisis?
Yes. What I value now more than what I kind of like took for granted before the whole COVID-19 crisis is definitely the ability to just go out and be with people and hang out, and the ability, like you said earlier on, we have all this equipment. Like, why aren't we just creating just for fun? Like, I mean, for the longest time, I was like looking at it as like my work that I create and stuff is just like it's work. It's paid 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 work. And I realized like I could be putting out content for the hell of it. Like, we all could be collaborating and playing around, like coming up with some weird, fun ideas and stuff, and just like doing mock commercials just for the practice, just to see like what works and what doesn't work and stuff. And like, I miss that. I took that for granted that was available to us. And now, like, I really just want to do that. I talked to Tess just the other day. She's got this amazing project that she's wanting to do, that she's putting together, that's a fashion piece, kind of like a spoken word, possibly like fashion piece. And she wants to shoot it on film. She wants me to shoot it on actual film. I'm excited. Never shot on film before. So like, I'm like, yes, let's play. Let's do that. And she's like, I want to be very fluid with it and like just kind of let it take a mind of its own. She's like, I want to stick with the three topics of like power transformation and something else. Oh, she's gonna hate me that I forgot. Anyways, but it's like, do these projects. Like, don't just sit on them and talk about like, oh, it'd be fun to do them. We have the stuff to do it. Just get together and do it. Like, if you have some downtime, just go. It's like me going skateboarding with my film friends, because I got like there's quite a few of us filmmakers that skateboard and have been doing it forever. It's like, we could do the same thing with filming. Like, just like go out, get together, make something weird and fun.
And there's ways to do it safely. Like we've got 11 foot between us here.
Yep.
And then and you know that you can do similar things, you know, mask up and glove up and tons of hand sanitizer. But you know, once the commercial market starts up again, and you know, I'm hoping and praying that's in May.
I know, me too.
I heard some restrictions are going to stop around May 18th in our state. Anyway,
that would be Tessa's birthday. That'd be a good birthday gift for her.
Yeah, it's just a week after mine.
Yeah, nice. And I'm a week after hers.
Okay. Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'm on the 27th.
Does that make you a Taurus?
I'm a Gemini.
Okay. Well,
I am a Gemini through and through.
Well, we're knocking on each other's door.
Yes, we are. Yeah, she's a Taurus, so you two are Taurus.
Okay.
I'm just outside that.
Maybe that's
club.
Why she's so nice to me.
Yes. No, she adores you. I know that.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, the you know, there's stuff you can do by yourself. I just want to say, like, personally, I got so jazzed up by the project I did yesterday with Patterson.
Yeah.
That like, I love photography, but I haven't. So you have to be inspired if it's an art for you. For the first time in a month or so, I went out with my Canon DSLR and the 7200 lens, and I'm just shooting my neighborhood and how people are changing. I think
Nice.
Fremont's become a little warmer than it had been. And then, and you know, the beautiful tulips and different flowers and buds on the trees. And I'm just going like, oh, this is cool. I'm an art, you know. But creativity can lead to creativity, and then you get out of your bubble. So I think that's a really important outlet.
Yeah, it definitely is. When I was down in Portland, I actually went out and did a lot of aerial cinematography down there with my uncle, which is exciting for him because he has a little tiny DJI drone. Spark, yeah. And he's always wanted to go out with me and my really big drone. So we actually called in and got clearance, which normally doesn't happen, to actually shoot the Capitol building and to go out there and it was incredible. Like I need to like, or I kind of realized like I can still be doing like stock videography and stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like
Perfect time.
It's a perfect time to do it. And you got the equipment, might as well do it. Like, so I got to spend that time doing that, and I ended up uploading because I have all my stock work is on Pond 5, and ended up uploading like 50 gigs worth of aerial content to Pond 5, and I was like pretty excited because it's very unique content too that I normally wouldn't have been able to get. But just keep feeding that creativity. Like I got to go out with Brent and Brent Berry and Brandon Hartstock up in the Tulalip Casino area, because Brandon is doing this a little short film, and they wanted to do some aerial cinematography for it and everything. So we went out, the three of us, and spent the day out in the woods, socially distancing, but still creating amazing content out there for Brandon's short film. And like I was really jazzed to like be able to work with Brent. I missed working with Brent because it's been like a month like since we've been able to hang out or do anything. And as two directors of photography, like collaborating on these shots we came up with some amazing shots, like beautiful. This is one gorgeous shot that we got looking straight down on a dirt road that has a giant puddle that looks like an eye. And Brandon's character just walks down the puddle and walks straight into the puddle and across. So you see the reflections of the trees in the puddle and everything. And as soon as he takes a step, he starts to see all these ripplings and everything. And it looks so beautiful. I was really excited. I was like, I miss doing this stuff. Like, oh my God, it feels so good to be out again.
Right.
So we can be doing that stuff. Like we can be like playing around with our creative ideas and stuff, but doing it safely while we're in this situation that we're in. But you gotta do something to feed that creative monster.
Yeah. So we've got 5 minutes to go, 4 minutes. What is one thing that you are really...
It's blinking.
Where is it? One thing you're really excited to do?
No, it's blinking now.
Okay.
The camera.
One thing... oh, fuck. This makes me sad. One thing you're really excited to do when this ends, one thing, and then any silver linings.
You want to know something I'm really excited to do when this ends? I want to go out to a fucking restaurant and eat some really good food. I want to hit up an Indian restaurant so bad and just like enjoy the atmosphere. Like I miss that. I miss like enjoying the atmosphere of really good places to eat. Like when all of a sudden you're not allowed to do anything, you're like, you realize how you took that for granted. Like, oh my God, I would love to go and hang out with my friends and just sit at a tavern or a bar and just talk about film industry over a beer. Like I miss that. Like you miss that the social businesses out there that are for socializing at, like coffee shops. Ooh, I can't wait to go to a coffee shop and write.
Oh, I love my coffee shops.
I know. Yeah, it's all the things that you really took for granted that are suddenly just pulled out of underneath you. You're like, Jesus, like.
Yeah, the neighbors.
That's
we're filming this in my apartment. Okay, real quick.
Yes.
A silver lining.
A silver lining. Silver lining for COVID-19. I think it's going to make people appreciate things. And I definitely think like this was almost like another check-in for me as well, because like I forgot what we take for granted. When I went to Kenya and came back, it was a giant culture shock. You felt very alone here because in Kenya, everybody is so kind and so outgoing. Like you're in the slums and everybody's like, hey, everybody says hi to everybody, invites the entire group of people over for tea. Like it's like one giant family there, social family. Everybody's so kind. You come back here and it's just very much like you walk down the street and nobody's like ever looks at you or anything like that. It's very alone. And I think this will be another good chance for everybody to realize how very lonely it can be and really not take for granted the world that we live in the United States, in Seattle. Like we all have each other and we should not take that for granted. We should not take for granted that like your neighbor next door, like say hi to everybody, like acknowledge everybody and make sure that it makes people's day when you give them a smile, when you say hi to them or you compliment them and like those are amazing shoes or something, like just like acknowledge people. And I think this is going to be a good check-in for people with that, about that is like, we're all still a giant family. Like, don't forget that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jeremiah. I know we're down to our last 30 seconds, but God bless you.
Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate it.
Yeah.